Hello, hello, Deb. You made
Hi.
it today.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, not much. You look relaxed today.
Oh, I'm not.
You're not.
Stressed.
I'm like, the look in your face for a second. I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like it's such a bad day.
No,
But
sales tax, year end, you name it, it's still happening.
so you need a big glass of wine then.
I'm
Big.
not a drinker, but boy, let me tell you, I see why people drink. Big time. I see 100% why.
Well, but there's also, and by the way, we're not live. It's only the four of us. And you've also got like your clients' cannabis products, right?
Well,
your
yeah,
products
I've
then?
always told them I would never be one of their customers. So I never have to worry about that. But it doesn't matter when you touch the money or the books, or if you're at the grow, it stinks. You can
Oh, I
you
bet.
come home and you just absolutely reek. And you know, if you get pulled over by a cop, they're going to smell it instantly. So I have to go
And
into the explanation.
then you
I'm
pass your business card. Look, I'm the
Yes.
bookkeeper.
I'm the accountant. I was just at the grow site, and I am not wasted, but you know, they
Yeah.
don't. So
Well, I'm definitely hitting happy hour tonight.
I'm going to join her. Let me tell you. Oh, what a week.
Leanne, are you in the new office?
I am.
Ooh.
I know,
What
do you
does that
see?
feel?
Yeah.
I have all this space all to myself.
So maybe
Hi,
you could take your
Barbie.
laptop and like give people a tour.
Can I? Okay.
But we're not connected. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Oh, you want to wait? Okay, I'll wait until you
other
want.
people are gonna want to see. You know that.
All right, I'll
So-
wait.
Okay, so I have a question before you go live, just
Okay.
because I don't want to ask it if you don't want me to. Okay.
That's okay.
So I am having trouble. I have this one client that I need to set up for Ontario, and I know you guys are in Ontario.
Right.
So I'm trying to set up the meals and entertainment sales tax code for them to use in Ontario.
Yep.
And I am not finding where I can do that properly in my mind.
That's fine. Let's take care of that live.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Marty Stretch, bigquickbooks.ca,
Yeah.
she has got right on that in one of her blogs. Has
Yeah.
got it's how to do the public service body and the meals and entertainment codes step by
Okay.
step.
I could do that then. Marnie, what's it called? Marnie?
Marty Stretch, I think you know Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's thinkquickbooks.ca or .com. Here, let me just double check. Think
QuickBooks.
thinkquickbooks.com.
.com. Okay,
Yep.
and she's got a video or something right on there to set up the combination taxes?
It's not even a video. It's screenshots.
Okay, on the
Step by
meals and
step.
entertainment stuff.
Yep. Yeah, you'll
Splitting it
see.
out.
When you
Okay.
go there, she's got the public service body on the top. Right below the public service body is the meals and entertainment. So just
Okay,
scroll down.
perfect. Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome. All right. And you can ask anything you want on these. I don't care.
Well, I know, but it's a bit of a boring question for people, right?
But some people might not know that.
It's true.
So it's
I
not that
didn't
boring
know.
in the press. Exactly. Exactly. That doesn't mean anything. All right. Let's get ready to go live on Facebook. All right. Oh, when I don't have up, I put a sheet that I can just copy and paste.
Look, Deb, I'm drinking this very healthy green looking thing right now, but it's going to change in a couple of hours.
Have a couple for me. How's that? Does that help?
Yeah.
That does not look appetizing at all.
You know what? You just got to get it down, right?
The grass in my picture, you just kind of threw in there and added some liquid of some sort. Not appealing.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Oops, and the cloud.
So that's the last thing I have left to do. And then I will have done a complete conversion over from Sage to QBO.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But he's in Ontario, and I'm just wanting to make sure I get that all right for Ontario.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, be on the cloud. I've just got to grab my links. I should have had this all prepared, but it just 3:30 came upon me just way too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Way too quick today.
Yeah, I know the feeling, boy. I was
So
just,
Leanne, you look like you've moved in.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Home right in.
No, I've spread out. I've made, Tanya knows I like to spread out everywhere.
Well, that's
So-
why I don't think it was even a thought of who to send over there. Because she's filled the whole office, and it's actually, if you look at the square feet, it's bigger than ours. And
No, they're like almost the exact same size.
Oh,
But how many people are in yours, Tanya?
One.
I
In
have three.
three.
Just saying, Leanne.
I know.
It's the way she works.
But so yeah, on the flat surfaces I spread out. Now that being said, all of our other stuff from the office came over, and it's all nice and stored away, and like we've got lovely filing cabinets. So that kind of cleared out of the main office as well.
Yeah, so we definitely have more room here. And we do have a little spot for her, a little like 3 by 3 foot area, because she pops in for,
That's
half
why
an
I
hour
don't
a
stay
day.
there very long.
All right. Okay, I've hit the button. We'll be going live any second now.
for it.
All right. Do I see us here? Not quite yet. Yep, I see us here. We're live now.
Okay.
Perfect. So let me just make sure that I'm watching the comments. And hello, everybody out there. Okay. I hit the button. There we go. I just had to mute myself too. Okay. So, hey, everybody in Facebook world, or anybody who wants to join us on Zoom. Welcome to today's version of Beyond the Cloud. You know what? We've got lots of snow today, so let's just take a moment. We'll give everybody a chance to introduce themselves here, and let's say what is the thing they like best about the snow. So I know some people don't. I don't like the snow, so it'll be hard for me to come up with something that I like best, I guess. So I will start. Tanya Hiltz, Cloud Bookkeeping Services, and Tanya's Bookkeepers Bootcamp. Again, anybody who wants to join us live, we've got the link in there. So if you're seeing that, I will try to keep an eye out. But what do I like best about the snow? You know what? It looks pretty when it's nicely newly fallen and nobody stepped on it or driven on it yet. So it's very picturesque. That's about the best thing I can say about the snow. All right. So Leanne, you were here next. So would you like to go next?
So yes, what I like best about the snow is in the winter, when I don't have to go anywhere and I can sit on my couch, and watch it softly falling outside the window. I love the snow. But on every other day when I have to go out in it, I'm not such a big fan.
I see a pattern forming here already. All right. So Deb, you were next.
Oh, and it's snowing here as we speak as well. I think this has been a pretty cold week. We've had Arctic air, as in wind, and really, really cold temperatures. I think it's supposed to be, is it 7 below tonight or tomorrow night? And the winds have been like 30 mile an hour, which is just bone chilling. I'm not a skier. I've done it one time 100 years ago. That's how old I am. And so I don't ski, and I like it, and it's pretty to look out the window, but I really don't want to go out and get in that. And actually the back picture right now is what it looks like here. This is not my place, obviously, but that's what it looks like. And to look at it through the window is great. I do like it on Christmas. I do like to see snow on Christmas because it's rare. But that's about it for me on snow. Just not a fan.
You know what? That's funny. The three of us live in snow all year long, not fans. And then we have the lovely Diane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be a little jealous of her because she doesn't have snow. But you might feel differently about the snow because you don't have it all the time. I don't know. So introduce yourself and let us know.
So Diane Mueller, Soma Small Business Solutions and Trifold Bookkeeper Advisors. I grew up in Southern Ontario, so I grew up with a lot of snow. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, in Guelph, born and raised.
Okay.
And so I do know what it's like for sure for the
And
winters there.
Guelph is snowbelt.
It is.
That is snowbelt.
It absolutely
Leanne lived
is.
in Guelph, and then of course I'm Georgetown, so you know where
Yes.
Georgetown is.
Yes, that's right. So
That's
we
where I
come
was
down
born
through
and raised.
Fergus, and sometimes it would skirt Guelph, but often we got a lot of it, and then it goes out towards London area, right?
Yep.
Godrich and all those places got a ton of snow. But what I will say that I like about the snow compared to now where I don't get snow, rarely, I should say, you know, like this year, it snowed twice this year,
Oh,
wow.
which is like crazy. I don't know, it's global warming or something, because we don't typically get snow here, but it did snow twice. It's all gone again. It's usually gone within a day or so, but the difference is this. I can remember being and trudging to school in waist-high snow.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah, in Ontario. And literally back then it really did. I think you got a lot more snow. But anyways, but the sun was out.
Yeah.
So it was sunny and bright, darn cold and snow everywhere, but it was sunny. And, you know, sun really makes us feel better.
It does. The vitamin D.
For sure. Compared to here in, you know, the lower mainland area and where I am on the Sunshine Coast, like the sun goes to bed in November and we don't see it again until about February. So very, very, very few sunny days, very few. So it's gray all the time.
Yeah.
Temperature's warmer, of course. Never much gets below 0. It's usually always in around, you know, 7 to 12 degrees, but definitely gray. I'm looking out there right now today and it's like gray. So, you know, there's definitely some give and take there. I kind of like the fact that you guys get sun. And when I go there for conferences and stuff, it might be cold, there might be lots of snow, but I know it's going to be sunny, which is nice. So
Nice.
already in my garden, I'll just say, already in my garden, the tulips are coming up through the ground. And
wow.
it will be no time, because that's the other thing. Our season might be rainy and dull, but it's very short, right? We're talking November to the end of January, mid-February, and then it starts to become spring really quickly, and then the flowers come out and stuff. So that part's very nice. Where you guys, you know, I've seen it snow May 24 weekend in Ontario. So.
Oh, yeah.
We got several more months to go.
Yes. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Jessica, before we get to Stacy and Tammy, Jessica piped in and she said she likes watching snow on TV. I guess she's obviously got lots of work to do. She did warn us that she might just be joining us there and not live.
How is her knee?
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, Jessica, let us know how your knee is. I'll just keep watching for that. Of course, she likes watching. Sorry, I should clarify. Watching snow on TV. ... from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get that Florida dig in.
Yeah.
All right. So then we've got Stacy was next. So Stacy, we're just getting ready to introduce yourself very quickly. And so there's my Rosie. And what is the thing that you like best about snow?
Well, my name is Stacy. I'm from Winnipeg. I have a bookkeeping, personal tax type outfit. When it's gone, that's what I like best about snow. We in Winnipeg have a festival. It's actually going to happen. I guess it's going to start next week-ish. It's always around the Valentine's Day. It's 1 week where it's called Festival de Voyageurs. So it's all in the French Quarter that we have here. It all celebrates the voyageurs that came through. I don't know my Canadian history, however many years ago. And it's all around the time of the founding of Manitoba. So I guess about 125, 50 years ago, somewhere in there. And it celebrates winter. Normally we have the Red River, where we have an ice skating trail, and we compete every year with Ottawa, who is going to beat the world record that year. This year, because of the crazy amount of moisture and rain and snow that we had early on in the fall, it's actually too dangerous to have put that that skating trail. And so
Wow.
they've opted not to do it because I guess what's happened is the water levels were so high, everything froze, and now the water levels have dropped. So you've got this air pocket. So they just said, no, we're not putting it on the river this year. But usually we would even have car races or something on the river. And so festival is kind of a fun, I guess if I had to like something about winter, festival would be it. Tanya, you are muted.
Tanya.
You're muted.
That was very enthusiastic.
Sorry. I muted myself to cough so that you guys didn't hear my coughing and Rosie barking. And yeah. All right. So Tammy, last but not least, and we just went into the order that people joined. We figured that was fair enough. So introduce yourself and let us know what you like best about snow.
Hi, I'm Tammy. I'm in Georgetown, Ontario. I run a firm of business problem solvers, which includes bookkeeping. My favorite part of snow is getting out and playing in it. I still play in the snow. My daughter builds some of the most incredible things out of hills. Like there's beds and garages and couches that'll fit 4 people and a table and chairs. And she even had to go out and have her snack with her friend sitting at the table because they had to make sure it really worked. Like she'll spend hours just playing with the snow.
And I could tell that she gets that from you. And I can envision driving past your house, seeing you like out making snow angels and building snowmen, absolutely, and having a blast. All by yourself, not even with the kids around, right? The kids are just excused.
Well, if you don't play in it, the amount of time that we have that's cold and wintry here, like you're gonna hate it. So
like me.
Embrace it and find a way to play.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, we've got Amanda Jenkins Askill. I hope I pronounced that properly, Amanda. From New Brunswick in the middle of a snowstorm. So I don't think she likes snow too well anyway. Excuse me, guys. And then Jessica said her knee is not doing so well. She'll probably have to see orthopedic surgeon. Gosh, we're still thinking of you. Bianca's there. And Jessica's not joining today, not because of work, because she's surrounded by her loud children. So thank you for that, Jessica. our ears definitely aimed for that. And Brad's joining us just again on Facebook listen mode only today, but he has no comments regarding snow.
He's in Calgary.
Ah.
And you know, in Calgary, I don't know. It's when they get snow, it's really bad. I didn't used to understand. I just knew that I did it there, and she used to be, you know, in shorts and t-shirt, like gardening in January, and I'm like, what the heck? And then snowstorms in July, and I lived there for a year and a half, and I get it. And the reason why, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, but I think by a lot of Albertans don't, is because when the Chinooks, at least southern Alberta, Calgary, when the Chinooks come through, they melt it all. So the snow doesn't really stay around very long traditionally. So they don't really bother going out with the snowplows. They don't bother to budget for the snowplows and the sanders and the salters because the Chinook's going to come through and melt it all anyway. But then the problem is when the snow is there, before it melts away, people forget how to drive in the snow. So it makes the roads extremely dangerous.
Mm.
And just to answer to Jessica, I've been in Girl Guides for 41 years. All children are loud.
Very true.
Doesn't matter their age, their gender, anyway.
Very true. Very true. Oh, wow. Sorry, Brad just piped in. Blue skies today. It's 0 degrees. Not bad, but more snow coming tomorrow. And they've had snow since October this year. Wow. Straight snow since October. That's crazy for it there. I'll send a Chinook your way, Brad. Awesome. Well, we were just talking, I guess, before we went live, Diane noticed that Leanne is in our new location. I'm in the old location, which is, well, this is actually my family room. It's more comfortable to sit here on this chair. So I'm on my laptop, which is why it's probably a little digitally and not as good as my other one. But we thought that Leanne actually having an open house for anybody who's local or anybody who wants to come on down for it next Thursday or the Thursday after.
Oh, one more week. It's February 20th.
Okay, yeah. So we basically, all of us get to, knock off work for the day, go to the new coffee donuts and talk to people as they come by, which is nice. So I don't know if you want to give a little virtual tour.
All right, so I'll hopefully not spin you guys too much. So it's about, we talked earlier about, it's about the same size as our existing office. So kind of as I come in the door, we've got lots of storage hidden back here, which is nice because we moved everything from the other office here so that it freed up space for them. And then you guys can see this is where I was just sitting. So that's my regular desk space.
About twice the size of her old desk space, so she loves it.
Yeah, it's much bigger. And this is my second desk space, the space that I get to take over because nobody has to sit over there yet. And then I've got kind of where we've got a lovely table right there behind me where I can sit with clients and spend time kind of chatting with them. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. You can see I have moved in. I've got photos and I've got a little fridge and coffee maker, and it's really comfy, and I have it all to myself. So, I really have no complaints.
No, and of course, people are going to ask, well, for virtual, why is there a place to see clients? Part of the reason why Leanne is in that location, and yes, it's small, she kind of cut out a little bit. As you were spinning, you kind of cut out a few spots, Leanne, I think. But it's about the same size as our single car garage, which is where our office is for the rest of us. But part of the reason being in there is that's the old Nortel building, which when it's done, they've changed it because, of course, Nortel went belly up. And the new owners that bought it want it to be a small business work hub. So they've got several hundred government employees going in on the second level. Otherwise, with the exception of them, I think there's going to be about 100 small businesses by the time that they're done. So this is going to be, a little bit of a different situation there. Of course, Leanne doing the marketing and training, that we thought that would be good. Put that there. That way, if there are small businesses in there, we can, they probably might not want to work completely virtual when they're at the first meeting or first or second meeting when they're right in the building. It's just a little bit more personal to be able to do that. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So of course Leanne's happy because she can just like spread out. As I've said it, she can her work is like thrown up all over the place.
Now, it's not thrown up today. It's very nice and neat today in piles. And I've got my pile that's going with me for the weekend because every morning I go to the main office and we start our day with like kind of a daily meeting and all of that. So what I need to take with me is already, neat and piled, but I'm very visual. So just having a stack of work to do, I can't. It's harder for me to prioritize and be like, what have I got? And I like to see it all spread out. It's the way my brain functions.
Yeah, which again is why it was kind of a no-brainer to just let, Leanne go. Again, she needs to be in the building for marketing purposes to be seen. We used to actually have a co-working space in there that we were part of, but it really was not much more to upgrade to go to a permanent office with a door that we can lock. And again, we got rid of stuff here. Jennifer says that's how she works too, Leanne. So, so you're a good company. You're a good company. Yeah, Jennifer, I think is going to be. I think she's talking about joining Bootcamp on May. So we'll be getting to know her a little bit better. Good. Awesome. Yeah, I think we're talking that. We've been talking for a while. Anyway, no pressure, Jennifer. Yeah. So Diane actually had something that she had asked. I thought is perfect. That we can throw this out on here just before we went live. So Diane, did you want to ask or did you want me to recap? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Diane.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I too have Marlo here, as you saw, bugging
yes.
me to play ball and carrying on. But yeah, so I'm in the process right now of switching a client over to QBO and setting that all up, and it's gone really, really well. I've been happy, but this client is not a BC client. They're in Ontario. So I wanted to set up a proper meals and entertainment code in QBO for that client. And the majority of, he lives in Ontario, so the majority, I'm sure, of the receipts for meals and entertainment and that kind of stuff is going to be from Ontario. So I was asking Tanya if, you know, I could get some help with that. And then she had suggested, well, there's probably quite a few other people out there that might want to know that too. And she gave me a great resource, which of course is our friend Marnie Stretch.
Yes.
Who apparently has it all out on her website, thinkquickbooks.com.
Yep. And that will take you directly to the blog at the very top of the page, which is on the public service bodies code and the meals and entertainment split code.
Which is fantastic. So I will be doing that right after the call then. So thanks for that.
Awesome.
That's quite helpful.
You're welcome. And thank you, Marty, for putting that out there on the blog and having that still up there as a valuable resource.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. And she screenshots it just step by step. Absolutely beautiful.
Perfect.
Of course, what you would expect from, you know, Marty being an educator as well too, right?
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Absolutely. Awesome. And I do saw that we actually had, and I'm not sure she's still here, Tamitha. Denny's watching. So Tamitha, if you're still here, you want to join us live to get in on this part of the discussion, great, because it actually was inspired by something that you did yesterday. So if anybody hasn't watched, there is a great video, Tamitha, as part of talking about her new podcast, was actually on the QB Community Live. Or is it QB Live Community? But anyway, with Linda and Matthew and Sarah, Prevost was there as well. So they had an amazing discussion on marketing and how, you know, a lot of bookkeepers we know how to bookkeep, we don't know how to market themselves. And of course, you know, Leanne is a marketer. We've been talking marketing in Bootcamp for years. And so I thought it would be great. So like Tamitha's got like amazing tips. Absolutely watch it. It's worth the watch. She's done a good deep dive. I just thought it would be interesting to see a difference of opinion or view, or if Leanne had anything to ask, because Leanne's background, of course, she's been doing social media for over 10 years. She was educated on that before she came here. That's why I brought her along and taught her everything else on the other side was for that. So I just wondered, you know, were there any thoughts? Was there anything else that you had to add to that, or Leanne?
To add to, yeah, because we watched that video because it was really fantastic. So if you guys look it up, it's well worth the hour to hear what they have to say. And I think the biggest thing, and we were actually chatting with our boot campers earlier today, and the really biggest thing I want to drive home right now, we were talking about this, is the fact that we're entering tax season. So a lot of people are going to like crawl into their holes and not come out for 2 months. And I think it's really, really important as a person who does marketing to remember not to fully take your foot off the gas. Even if you're not going to be taking on new business through tax season, one thing I know is it takes me, and this is true of any marketing efforts, it takes 3 months to ramp things back up. So if I stop now, and then I start again in May, I'm not going to see results from my marketing until July. So I think that's something that people don't think about. They think, well, I'm marketing right now, I should see the results right now, and that's not really the way it works. If you do something right now, where you should see the spike is like 3 months down the road. So that's something when you're keeping an eye on that. And that doesn't mean like go hard at it all tax season, because yes, you're going to be tired. You've got a lot going on, but don't like fully back off. Continue with your social media. It's really, really easy to continue to post and engage every single day. I know Tamitha is very active. She does amazing things on hers. One of the things that I would say is, you know, continue to keep that presence there. Even on a minimal level. My rule of thumb is post one time a day, and then ideally 1 post a week would be promotional. So, you know, talking about yourself and your business and what you're doing. The other thing is networking and getting out, especially if there's a group that also feeds you. I mean, I do a lot of our networking, and the main group that I really love, there's 2 that I'm a part of. One is my women's group, my Quinty Women in Business, and that feeds me, because even when I'm not like actively thinking, oh, we need business, it's also a really great professional growth you know, for me. And then the other group, I have a breakfast meeting group, and they're just so positive that it doesn't really matter, because it starts my Tuesday morning off, even though it's 7 a.m. It starts it off really, really fun and good. So it kind of helps, like, you know, get you through that work week. You've got this really positive group to come back to. So if you're doing anything like that, don't stop. Those, even once a month, getting out and into your kind of your tribe is going to be beneficial, just because you're not stuck behind a computer. So keep on doing that sort of thing. Yeah, just keep your authentic voice in it. I mean, it's really, really important for social media that you're the voice of your business. So keep your authentic voice in it. And you don't have to go overboard on, you know, spending on Facebook ads or any of that. Just presence is a big, big thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything you, Tanya, that you wanted me to talk about?
Well, I was just going to say, like, during tax season, especially, or times where you don't have a lot of time to be able to do that, it can be really difficult to stay present. Leanne handles the real marketing on everything through, you know, our, I guess, our marketing pages and whatever. I handle mostly like the Facebook Corners group. So on there, I don't really market, you know, myself. I try, you know, obviously, like, there's kind of a few like thought-provoking things I might put in there, whatever, but for the most part, that's to help the industry. That's not necessarily to market to. So on that, it's obviously a little bit different, but what I do is I still do that even though I'm busy during tax season. Leanne uses something a little bit different. She's a little bit more organic, I would say, than I am. But if you go to AngieGensler.com, it's AngieGensler.com, you can actually purchase, it's right now for today, $48 US with 20% off. It's on there today. I usually buy it for $29 because I buy it at the beginning of the year. It is a full year social media calendar. So anything that you see me, 90% of what I post on Facebook has come from there, and it's extremely cheap. It takes me literally 2 minutes. I go to the calendar. What does she have to do today? Yes, I modified a little bit because she really pushes to promote yourself and market yourself, because it's more for people that you're actually marketing to versus like direct marketing to. So I, you know, if I see something like that, you know, oh, talk about his sale today or something, you know, I'll kind of switch it up a little bit. But for the most part, she provides the pictures. She provides, like, for the questions to ask, the quotes, all of that stuff. I just go to my free version of Buffer, put it in there, boom, it goes out to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook all at once. And that takes me literally about 3 minutes a day. And, you know, it's cost me, you know, less than $50 Canadian a year to be able to do that. So even at a minimum, that's a great resource. I know Leanne, she again will go and be a little bit more, I guess, like organic, and she doesn't actually follow the calendar, but she's got, again, the background, the education in that. I don't, but it was just kind of too much. And that's why I just said, you know what, I'll handle the Bookkeepers Corner group and she can handle the rest of it. So that's definitely a great resource.
And you can schedule stuff in advance.
You can't.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when we know that we're going to have a busy time, like the beginning of January was going to be a complete rush, we actually prepared all of that we were putting out there in December and scheduled it, and it just went out. So then all we have to do is, you know, keep on top of the comments and that. So it's a lot less work.
Do you use Buffer to send it out?
We're not using Buffer.
Okay.
We're using one that works better with Insightly, because I felt like not a lot of bookkeepers were on Insightly, and I'm like, I kind of like pictures a lot. So I'm going to head in that direction and just be a little bit different from everybody else. So we're using Later, which is a much closer tie to Insightly.
Oh, for Instagram, Tammy.
Oh, sorry, Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
For a second there, I was trying to figure, yes, Instagram.
No. I don't use Insightly at all anymore. No. I do need to sleep more, though.
But I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's Later. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, and so, because I was asking about Buffer because I was just trying to see in the free version, maybe Leanne, you can answer this, and then Tammy, you can let us know about it is in Later, or I guess Later that you use. How in the free version, how far ahead or how many posts can you schedule in the free version before you have to buy in? Do you know? Because I didn't think you could post ahead. And then I posted ahead, knew it was going to be away. I'm like, let's try this. So I posted like 3 days ahead. I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, I want to say something like 15 posts or something. It's
Okay.
not a ton, but it's not like a small amount either. Like you could definitely set up, you know, several days worth. But you can also, like, you can post within any social media channel itself, right? So like you could go several weeks ahead in Facebook and that sort of thing. I'm of the mind, like Tanya kind of said, like Tanya still does it live every day. And I'm very much of the mind that our world changes really, really fast. And what might be just an amusing post one day could be really sensitive another. So I'm a little bit careful not to get too far ahead of myself because I don't want to forget what I've kind of put out there. But at the same time, the convenience factor of it, definitely, like I know it makes a lot more sense to kind of play your week out and figure it out. But yeah, I'm a mixture of the two. I don't like to get too far ahead of myself. But scheduling is definitely a convenience that we all need to take advantage of.
Yeah, Jessica just said, yep, she schedules, pre-configured schedules ahead as well too. So is there a free version to later, or is there like that you can schedule as a?
There is a free version. We decided to move off of it because I wanted more demographics. I wanted to see better. I could see some of who I was reaching, but I wanted more information, like what time are they on?
Right.
And I expected a lot more women to be following me on Instagram,
Okay.
but it's a lot of men.
Oh, really?
So that kind of makes me rethink some of my posts because I'm rah rah, go ladies, like we've got this, you can run a business, go.
Right.
But you know what, I need to make sure that I'm not excluding men as well because yeah, they're out there and they're doing great things too.
Well, you never know. You might end up finding a man who owns the business and the wife behind him who actually is making the decisions.
But typically with Instagram, it's, I think more, well, maybe not as much now with all the truck pictures out there, but it's more women on Instagram. So I really wasn't expecting to see such a large male demographic.
And I don't know much about Instagram. I'm Facebook. I'm old school. And all I know is I have the Twitter, even Twitter, I don't understand it as much. But all I know is I have the Twitter and the Instagram so that when I post out, it goes to the Bookkeepers Corner group and then out to Instagram and Twitter. But Leanne really handles those ones. All I do is post once a day to them.
So you've said a couple of things that I'm curious about, and interestingly enough, I was just having a conversation about social media today. I was just having, I bought one of those calendars. I do follow Angie, but I bought a different calendar, same idea.
And I'm sure there's plenty out there. I just, yeah.
Yep. So I've made a focus point on my Facebook page. I post once a day. I actually schedule it right through Facebook schedulers. I try to do about a week in advance so that I'm not too far ahead. Like Leanne says, you never know, right? But that I'm not having to touch it every day. You mentioned buffer, and I was just quickly Googling it because I probably should worry about my LinkedIn and I should worry about some of the other ones that I've ignored. But you say you have a free version, and the smallest version I can find is Pro, which is $15 a month. Am I looking at the right site? I'm at buffer.com.
We're on a free version, Tanya. We pay for a version as well, but I use that one for, the paid version we use because we have so many social medias between Cloud Bookkeeping and Tanya's Bootcamp.
Okay.
But Tanya's only posting to the one, so I'm sure we're not.
I'm posting to 3, but that's it. But you're right. There's certain things I can't do. We can't add anymore. I know I can't go so far in advance because I'm signed into the free one. I'm just looking here.
I wonder if they like make you like start, like not necessarily start with the Pro, but you kind of have to get in there so far because, you know, they don't want you to take the free version, right? Like,
well, there is a free version. I'm looking here.
is it listed? Okay.
And they brought back the free version. I'm just kind of going through. There's a blog by them, and they changed the buffer free plan and brought back more features.
What I needed to do is scroll to the bottom of the page. At the end of your trial, you may downgrade to our basic free plan. There we go.
Perfect. Well, and I was gonna say, yeah, I do know, again, Leanne, who handles like the real marketing,
Mhm.
I know she's got a few different tools and stuff that we pay for. Again, we don't pay a fortune. We pay, I think, even including the cost of the tools and the marketing, if we average it out, we're still probably at what, $50 a month?
Oh, if that, if that.
She's,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
we were kind of checking earlier, and yeah, our overall costs for the year are very, very low.
Yeah. And it's because she targets. She's got, yeah, does and actually does specific audience targeting. There's a few different ways that you can do Facebook, and I don't know much about it. Leah can speak more about it, but I know there's one way that it just kind of goes in front of people and you pay per view. And then there's another way where you actually pay per click. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, yeah, let's go pay for the click. Let's build lookalike audiences so that way it's going to people that have similar characteristics that we put in. But I would rather pay for the click because if somebody's not going to click, they're not interested. So why am I going to pay for that?
Right.
Now, what happens if you start to engage on a social media platform and you're like, you know what, this platform is not for me? How do you just cut out? Like, I hate Twitter. I really hate Twitter.
Disappear.
Do you just disappear?
You can start to just back it off. Yeah, you can. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if it's just not your thing. I think you do better to really focus on a platform that's going to benefit you and that you're going to use than to focus on a platform. Twitter, for the most part, too. I mean, I engage on Twitter the majority of the time, like really, truly engage only at conferences. We are on Twitter and I post to it, absolutely. I mean, it's really not an extra step when I'm just sharing the same information that I'm sharing on my other social medias. But true engagement really only happens around conference for us.
But at least that way, if we're continuously posting, it doesn't look like we've fallen off and then come back and then fallen off and then come back, right? So
that's the other thing. If you're going to go off, then just go off. Like if that's really truly what you're going to do, just take it all, like take it down. That way it's not sitting there empty. And from the promotional standpoint, Tanya, I'm going to actually say that a lot of times, as I do the promotion on Facebook, I go by impression.
Okay, I knew there was something for it.
The reason why, and I'll tell you guys so that you understand, is because with the Facebook algorithms, what they're looking for is that engagement. Absolutely, that's going to knock us up in the Facebook algorithm. But if we pay for impression, an impression actually costs you less than a click. So I can get way more impressions than clicks. And basically what's going to happen is that if Facebook shows it to more people, there's a greater likelihood that people are going to see it and engage with it, which is then going to knock me up in the Facebook algorithm. And engagement is anyone who clicks, shares, likes, comments, or watches your video to a certain point. I think it's 6 seconds in or something. But right now, organically, Facebook has just knocked back their, like how many people see your business page. So this is not relevant to a group, but if you're on an actual like true Facebook business page, right now the algorithms for Facebook is built to only show your business page posts to 6% of your audience. So this is people who have actually liked your page and engaged with your page.
Wow.
And Facebook's only going to show it to 6%. So 6 in 100. So you really got to play with that algorithm to push Facebook to say, no, people like what I'm posting, people engage with what I'm posting, they're commenting, they're liking, they're sharing, they're doing things, and that's gonna pull you up in the algorithm. And that's where promotions really come in. We don't spend a ton of money on them. I don't have to spend a lot. I just need a few really good posts and force Facebook to show it to more people so that I get that engagement, which will knock my algorithm up in other areas.
I see, that's why she handles that side of it. I'm just a good little girl and host one today here. So
yeah, I the conversation I was having this morning was, oh, it only costs me $400 a month, and they know all of this, and to manage their social media stuff. And I just went,
No. Stacy, you've already said you're joining boot camp. Leanne covers 3 sessions in boot
I
camp
do. I
covering
do.
marketing and networking. Tammy's been through it. She can tell you.
It
Yes.
was super, super, super helpful. There's so much value. And even sessions where you're like, this is not going to apply to me. You sit there and you're like, oh man, she just kicked my butt.
yeah.
We
yeah.
just have to get you coming back, Tammy, to the boot camp chats on the Friday.
I know.
That's okay.
My meeting ran late, but it's a really good meeting.
Was it? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's okay, we'll be sending it the recording link on Monday, and I think I posted it earlier. It should be uploaded by now anyway.
Well, I got to say, congratulations, Stacy,
Why?
for
On what?
joining the boot camp.
Oh, it's not official. It's not official yet.
No,
Oh, I
it's
think
not
we
official.
just made it official.
The pressure. Did you know you were going to be pressured when you started joining or be on the cloud, Stacy? No.
So Tanya, and I like how I'm pointing at the screen. Tanya, get a check from Diane, and then I'll be there. No problem. We've been,
that was a good comeback. That was good.
yeah, we've been, and Leanne, you're so right in terms of things that we do now, the groundwork we've been doing, because we've been doing different types of groundwork since September. We're starting to reap those phone calls, right? In January, I had 15 different people at various stages of, I have to meet with them, I have to send them a quote, I have to, whatever. Now in February, I'm hoping that some of those turn around to actually accepting some, at least, of the quotes. And we quoted one job, and they came back and they went, ugh. And we said, well, yes, but you have 4 different businesses and you have this, that, and the other. Like, these are like, no, sorry, well, that's more than what we're paying. And your current bookkeeper has left you in the lurch. Like, that's what it is. Well, if we just wanted to do the year, okay, well, yeah, and you know what? We'll do it. I'll tell you what, I'll do it, and I'll bill you on an hourly basis, and it's going to be $65 an hour. And I think if I were to estimate, about 10 hours, but I'll let you know as we get through it so that you don't get surprised. And they came back with, yeah, sorry, we decided to go in a different direction. And I went, okay, well, too bad, you have my number and when you need it. And I turned around and I looked at my colleague and I said, that didn't make me sad.
Good.
Yeah, it was one of those, no, I thought they were going to be a little bit more painful than what they think that they would be. And if they're arguing over right from the beginning, it's, so.
Yeah, because that's a really good point, Stacey. What ends up happening with those kinds of clients is, especially if they're under the gun and you say, I'll do the year end. So they come on board so they can get their immediate problem dealt with. And then every single month after that, they're complaining about your bill. So yeah.
Scope creep happens very easily. And Diane, she speaks a lot on scope creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so anyway, out of the 15, that's 1 down. So it means the other 14 can accept their quotes. But it's been a lot of groundwork that we've put down since September.
So that's a really good question, though. What's a reasonable percentage that you could expect back from giving out so many quotes? Like, salespeople do that all the time, and they know the number. Okay, well, if I throw out 20 quotes, I'm going to get, in reality, 2 good ones out of there that's going to be a good fit and that we can move forward with, right? I think in the bookkeeping industry, it's probably a little higher than that because people really need us, and if we've done a half decent job. But, even if you said you got 50% of the quoting that you put out there, good for you.
I know our percentages, if you look at out of the people that contact us, I think we're probably about 25%.
That's
if you look at
about
the
where we
people,
are.
if you look at the people we actually quote, because we don't quote everybody that calls us,
Yeah.
I think we're at about 75, like it's about 75% closing
Yeah,
ratio.
that's right, because you do have to think about those steps.
Well, and we've got ways to weed people out
Yeah.
beforehand, so we're not spending a lot of time. We're spending maybe 5 or 10 minutes with them, sending them questionnaires,
Yeah.
letting automation take over. And that definitely feeds out a lot. So that way, Leanne, I was going to say we, but Leanne is spending time with people that are truly interested and that we think are going to be a good fit.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you get out there in social media, it does work after a while. You will get a lot of people asking you for quotes, but you got to weed through them so that you're really only dealing with the people that have got, you've got a good chance of making a fit with. So 75% of those people is a darn good return, right?
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Tammy. We'll see you later.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. Thanks for joining us, though. It was awesome.
Yeah, fun.
Okay. Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye, Ann.
I
If you
totally
look
get
at
that.
like true sales stats, the big thing is it's a long sales cycle, right? Like it's the fifth or sixth touch where you're actually going to make the sale.
Mhm.
So that's what you're working towards. In Bootcamp, I talk about moving people around the clock. You're trying to get up to 12 touches because that's where you're building that relationship as you're moving them around. And sometimes they drop off because they're not right for us. Sometimes I can make that first contact and be like, they come to us, they only want desktop. They're not going to switch. Sorry. Like it's just not we're not the right fit for you. Other times it's 2 or 3 touches for us to learn they're not the right fit for us. If I haven't learned it by then we're in trouble. I usually know pretty early, but it can take a couple of touches for me to realize this isn't going to work. Tanya's heard me on the phone with people and she's been like, we're not taking them, because she can hear my frustration with them, right? Like she's like, we're not taking that person. If you're frustrated just trying to express our value, they're never going to get it, right? But then when you know that you would take on that person and you're building the relationship, it's 5 to 12 touch points that you're going to need to make to close the sale.
Wow.
That might not always be phone calls either. Like with us, we figure Leanne does a phone call, we send a questionnaire, they fill out another questionnaire, then she touches back with them again to go through some stuff, get some more information. She connects with me, we sit down, work things out, and then she touches them back, calls them back with the quote. That's 5 touch points. We maybe spent 35, 40 minutes with them at this point for 5 touch points. Sending them the quote, they open it, look at it, that's 6 touch points. And then if they accept it right away, that would be like 7, I guess. But
And
you're
I
right,
guess-
some of them are longer, some of them.
And I guess, Leanne, you really don't, I was thinking, well, wouldn't your goal be to narrow that down so that you could get from 12 to 7 and then 7 to 5 kind of thing? But I guess in reality, you don't, because as you say, you're discovering in that time whether and who they really are and whether or not you want them. So yeah,
you're building the relationship. I mean, it's the same going out and networking, right? Like when you're building a relationship, you don't know where your next, as a salesperson, you don't know where your next sale is going to come from. I don't know where I'm going to meet someone. I mean, I go to, a random event, and funny enough, this happened like 6 months ago. I met someone at a random event who runs a program, because we're in a military area, who runs a program for military spouses who are starting a business. That's our target audience, military spouses who want to start their own business. These are all going to be small business owners who are potentially going to be anywhere in the world that we can service because we're virtual. Like that's huge. And now I've done a couple of very short, just half-hour segments on sales tax for them, but it's great exposure for us because now they all know who we are, right? So it's little things like that that just add and build those relationships. So, and it's the same in the sales process.
We just met with a potential client the other day. She got my name because I taught a class with the self-employment program, which I've mentioned once or twice. And that student is a friend of hers and said, I think the two of you would be a good fit. You should give her a call, right? Yeah. Now, what's happening with that particular one as another extension is, and I've kind of stretched my comfort zone a little bit. So after our call a couple weeks ago, and where Tanya gave us that very quick boot camp on the baby bunnies, I started quoting and I'm like, yeah, we could do this. We'll send you a report
I'm
card.
like the
and we'll
baby
send you-
bunnies, but right, got it. Yes.
Yeah, we'll send you, we'll look at your books and we'll send you a report card and we'll do, all of that. And, you do it yourself, but we'll sort of guide you along. I've started putting that as one of our level of packages and my colleague said, okay, Stace, what happens when someone actually accepts that? And I'm like, well, I'll figure out what the report card might be. Like one step at a time. And so
We
this,
give it to you in boot camp. We give
yeah,
it to
I
you.
know.
No, I know. I know. No, really no pressure. You know what? You'll learn enough just coming to these, right?
It's all in fun and games. I get that.
I know.
But this potential client that we quoted the other day, we sort of looked at her and went, oh yeah, you know what, our business cards do say training because I do that education. Huh, you're actually looking for a business coach, not really a bookkeeper. Well, let's talk about this. Oh, you're 3 years behind in your corporate tax returns. Well, we don't really do T2s, but I can phone one of my contacts and see if he would subcontract for me. And suddenly we're developing this package that even 3 months ago, we wouldn't have thought too much about. We had always advisory services as part of what we're doing. But
Right.
what she really needs is the advisory services, and she needs someone to hold her hand while she's getting ready to do these 2-2 returns. And suddenly I have a CPA that subcontract for me, which
That's awesome.
I just
Good
find
for
to be kind
you.
of funny.
That's awesome. Good for you.
We'll
And
see if she accepts it.
well, and that's why we like the baby bunnies, and that's exactly where Leanne's getting it there. We like them. That's where we can make the quick money on the training. We're watching their books. We're providing them the monthly value, and at the end of the day, they are our highest net profitable plans.
Mhm.
They might be the smallest dollar figure, but you know what? You throw in a ton of them, absolutely. And I would rather take, 10 of them a month rather than one $1,000 client a month and make, actually, I guess only 5 of them a month would make $1,000, wouldn't they? Yeah. I'd rather
As
have 5.
recurring, yes.
Recurring revenue. I would rather have 5 of them
Mhm.
rather than one $1,000 a month client, because I guarantee you on the $1,000 a month client, I'm gonna have to work harder than whether we will have to on the 5 of them. So, yeah. But at those baby bunnies are gonna grow to be adult bunnies.
Mhm. Mhm.
So they're
And
gonna need your help along the way.
and sometimes those baby bunnies give your card to someone else, and now you're having to stretch and do another job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And and that's it. It's great. And I love the way that you said that, oh, you want business coaching. We are essentially, and Diane's been talking about that for years. The role of the bookkeeper is changing. We are essentially business coaches or business counselors or business advocates or business, whatever you want to call us.
Strategists.
Strategists, exactly. We have that knowledge. We've always had that knowledge. We've just been held down by paper and lack of technology as data entry people. That's gone. We can now flourish with the knowledge that we have, help our businesses, even our clients, their businesses even better.
Couldn't said it better myself.
Well, you did say it yourself. Hearing Diane speak and was one of the things that first got my mind to start changing. So.
Oh, that's so nice to hear that.
It
I just actually heard that from somebody else the other day who is a longtime bookkeeper I've known her for probably 20 years. And she said, you know what? You're always the one that gives us a kick in the ass and make sure that we're doing what we need to do to forward our business and going forward into, kind of what's going on in the industry. And I thought, you know what? If that's my role, I'm okay with that. That's great.
Yeah. Well, and you've been saying that for years. There's Sherry Lee Mathers is somebody who, again, has been saying for years, Jeannie Whitehouse, you take a, different name. I had to throw in a U.S. name, to keep Deb happy and any U.S. People watching. But, there's so many names of women who have been saying, for years, but guess what? It's not the future anymore. It was when you started talking about it. It's here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We just need to grab the reins and take advantage of it.
Yeah. And take
So-
advantage of it in your own way. Like there's
Yeah.
lots of room for all kinds of different bookkeepers and bookkeeper styles that they want to do. Not everybody is going to want to be out there building a huge business,
Yep.
but you still got to keep up with the technology. You still got to be relevant, even if it's, you know, just yourself in your own office. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the office manager to come make sure that I'm trying to tell me I'm not working. But no, and you're absolutely right. We like the small bunnies. That's who we prefer. There's, you know, it's not to say that the big bunnies aren't good. We just prefer to deal with the small bunnies. Personality wise, we can help them more, get a little bit more personal. You can still do that with some of the larger, you know, the big bunnies and, you know, the turn into kangaroos and like whatever, the jackrabbits, whatever, you know, you can, the bigger businesses, they're just not, I don't have that much enjoyment, but there are people that do have a ton of enjoyment out of them versus, you know, the little buddies.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yep.
you know, the same thing goes with the amount of technology and things that are out there too. You know, as I say, and of course you say, we really need to keep up to date and keep relevant in our own businesses and making sure that we're offering what's best for our clients. But there's a whole other side of that that says, but you don't have to get on every bandwagon.
Mhm.
Right? And that's the other thing that I kind of see playing out a little bit, because they watch certain people that are, you know, app gurus because they are wanting to build a business that way, and they feel like, oh, I'm falling behind because I don't have the latest app, or oh, there's one I haven't heard of yet, and there's a bit of a panic going on out there. And for sure, you want to just step back and, one, I myself would never go into an app until I know they've been around for a while. I don't care how good anybody says it is, because I worry about them not being around in a year and a half because of their own business and what's going on in that industry and all of the turmoil that they're in, because there'll be a lot that flush out and don't actually make it.
Yep.
So, you know, as bookkeepers, we don't want to buy into every single one of them and then have to be switching constantly when things change. So don't get app crazy either. Like,
Yeah. Well, it can happen so easily. We
Yeah.
did that. And I said to Leanne, so we are signing into over 20 apps a day. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Excuse me, let's downsize. And we did. And we don't have a lot of apps. We know what apps are out there for different solutions.
Yeah.
And we also know who to reach. So if we're looking for, you know, e-commerce, like we do have one client that does small, you know, does small e-commerce. But if we had a really big e-commerce, you know what, we'd send them to Teresa Slack.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
she's the guru on that. You know,
Yeah.
you know, there's construction. Notify is the topic, construction. I'm not willing to deal with that because again, like there's that. So we don't really niche, I guess, in a certain industry. We niche in a personality, if anything, but it's great that there's other people that niche in the industries because now we know who to send them to.
Yeah.
Right?
And don't feel pressured to help every single client, but be,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where the community helps so much, because you do know who to send it to. But
Exactly.
you don't
I
have
won't-
to feel like you have to take them on.
Exactly. We get leads Canada wide, except for the US. I won't touch anything that has a PST province or the States. So we're like, no, where are you? We'll refer you to somebody that knows that. You know, it's HST or GST only, and that's it. I'm not even going there. So in other words, any BC people, go to BC, you know, I'll send them to BC people that I know there.
PST isn't terrible. Manitoba, it's easy. You collect it, you give it. It's a tax of the last person who touched it pays it, as I tell people.
Yeah.
Well,
End user
it's just-
tax.
The GST is the same thing, but there's different rules. There's so many different rules for the
Well,
PST.
you know what the biggest difference is for HST, you got one return. You got one,
Yeah.
you know, governing body to deal with, one regulator. If
Yeah.
you go into a province with two, well, now you've just doubled the work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Hey, let's leave that to the specialists. Let's leave that to
If
the
you
people
go down
that
to
live
the
there and know
States
it.
where Deb is, you might have 5 or 6 to deal with.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
more.
I'm not even, unless you live in Florida. We've already heard from Jessica. The Florida's that's it. There's just one in Florida. But yeah, I wouldn't even want to go there. Somebody that's doing a lot of sales over, a lot of sales in the States, you know what?
Yeah.
I wash my hands of it. Again, there's people that niche in that. So awesome. Well, we've gone over again as usual.
Yes.
So thank you very much to everybody who joined live. Thank you very much to everybody. We had lots of people watching on Facebook. So that's great. Thank you to everybody for participating. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody took some value away, learned some stuff. And yeah, we will see you all next week. And Deb, I hope that you have just relax, get through tax season.
Dealing with California sales tax as we speak.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Deb, what time frame are you in? Pacific?
Mountain Standard.
Mountain time?
Yeah.
So
it's 2:38
at
here.
5 o'clock my time, it'll be 6 o'clock your time, right? So at 5 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock your time, I'm going to be toasting you.
Awesome. And I will be thinking of you.
So that is 8 o'clock my time. I promise to do the same.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
Everybody take care. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Take care.
Bye.
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 Good new dids there, Leanne. Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.